I would adopt 100%.
Oh, but I guess I mean like
Fostering, what I never thought about until today, but like how you put it, I agree with.
So I never thought about fostering either. But when I was a sophomore, there was a girl from the New York campus who came to NYU Shanghai. She was on our soccer team. Her parents came for the end of the semester just to see her, whatever. We went out for dinner, the whole team, and they heard that I was adopted. And they're like, oh, that's very interesting. Because we thought about adopting, but, you know, we fostered a lot. And we thought about adopting, but...
That's ill interesting.
Yeah, but they said, you know, we wouldn't be able to help as many kids. And there's such a need. And from then on, I was like, wow, I want to foster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. China really has a big issue with that, from my understanding. I think there's actually a lot of orphanage. I had a good friend who went volunteer at an orphanage a couple years ago. You know, I never think about this, but obviously by numbers, China would have a lot of orphans as well.
It's interesting. So like I used to call it an orphanage, but that's like a different term. They call it a welfare center. Because I'm not an orphan necessarily.
Right.
I probably have birth parents, right? They just were like, oh, don't want you. You know what I mean? So it's different. So it's so it's like it's fully yuan. It's like a welfare center. It's not guar yuan. It's different. It's very different. Yeah. Like I haven't heard of like guar yuan. It's fully yuan.
What's the difference? I guess in orphanages they take
an orphan means your parents have died.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't 90% sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But welfare center is like, yeah. Oh, it's actually very interesting. So, born in Hunan province from this specific place. But then I watched this documentary called One Child Nation. Yeah. And it's about, have you seen it? It's on Amazon Prime.
I think you've asked me this before.
Well, it's about the one child policy. Yeah. So it's not about adoption. And there's documentaries about American Chinese adoption, and those are kind of cheesy and like that. But this one is just about the one child policy, and it's like a Chinese person investigating it. And she found that back then there were like international adoption is just a part of it, but like a lot of people were abandoning their babies. And there was this huge scandal back like in the 90s in Hunan province, actually. This huge bust of these people who were like trafficking babies, and they were made to seem so bad, right? Like basically taking babies, selling them to orphanages. Right. But then this documentary kind of shows they were called matchmakers. These babies were left to die, you know, in so many places, and they would take them. Yeah. Or they would hear about a baby, and these parents didn't know what to do, so they'd give the baby to these people. Yeah. These people would take them to orphanages. And they were honestly saving lives.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I think, you know, like they were good. They were painted, you know, kind of a negative light, which is a political thing, won't want to get into. But like, so I could be from anywhere in China is what I'm saying. Right. Is, you know,
it's just that's where you were picked up.
Right, and that's where I was taken, and that's where I ended up. And so, but I could be from, you know, another province, but I don't think I could have gone like that for who knows. But birthplace, birth date, height, weight, all that stuff, like, don't know. But that, I mean, it's okay.
I think it's okay. Like the one I met, you seem like happy, healthy person who has a strong family. I'm like, what else do you need, right?
Right.
Because I'm the very much opposite. Like in China, I think they always say blood is thicker than water, right? Like just because. But I'm like, no, family is like earned. It's earned through how much time and love you give someone. It sounds like your family did a great job at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny, right? Like back to the cab thing. Like cab drivers always be like, oh, is your American family good to you? Right. And I'm like, yes, they're good to me. Like, they're my family, you know, like, and